me that I'm not a health worker, I'm not a nurse, I'm not a doctor, neither am I a pharmacist or someone that can even handle injection. I don't know IT. After this Instagram live and posting on social media, I don't know anything. So what will happen to people like us?
Thank you. So the third way that I will say people often don't realize that this is one legitimate way to travel abroad is through study abroad.
See you.
Hello,
Dr. Linda. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing well. So we're here live.
Yeah.
Everybody on my IG. I have some people that have told me that look, they have packed their bags. So this one is not about telling them how to. They want to know when they're ready to go. So this is Dr. Linda is here to tell us. Look, this is the straight and narrow way to, the kingdom of Obodo.
In terms of legitimate ways, just like you have mentioned, right? There are many ways to go abroad, even though there are many and maybe we cannot keep count, but I want to just talk about I'll say the three major ones. The first one is somebody can actually travel abroad through work. And yes, so let me explain that more. There are a lot of professions that favor that type of migration. For example, if you're a doctor, a dentist, if you're a health professional, a lot of countries are looking for health professionals. UK, in fact, they even just released the new program August 2020, where they are inviting health professionals. And is on the information on how to go about that is found on their website, because I remember going there to even read it in details. Countries like Canada, it's possible for somebody to look for a company here that is that has employment opportunities and actually apply for work. Some people are able to get employed, and it becomes possible for the company to file for them to be able to relocate on work basis. Number two way is other immigration programs. Immigration programs, and these are it's different country by country, right? Because different countries have different programs. Do you know, for example, they have programs for entrepreneurs. So you're an entrepreneur, you are ready to, if you move to a country, you are ready to start a business. Sometimes they may put a particular fee, let's just say, you are ready to invest $20,000, So once you have that money that you want to use to start business, they call it investors route or entrepreneurs route. Entrepreneurship.
So wait, no, don't say I'm joking now, but please, for me now that I sell food, I sell food. Yeah, I cook Ugomba's kitchen. If I come to Canada now, I invest that money. I stay with them. They'll give me permanent residence.
Yes, that is possible.
The food that I cook.
Yes, that's possible.
Do
you know that they even had Canada has a special program for people that are into farming, especially if you have experience doing farming. So sometimes these programs exist, but because they are not the major programs, so people it doesn't get popularized. People don't know much about it. Now, specifically for Canada, there's this one they call express entry. I know a lot of people have heard so much about that. Express entry is very popular. That's the one you hear people say, I want to write a ETS for. Canada is welcoming people. They call it express entry for federal skilled workers. So what it basically means is that you don't have to find work or anything, but provided you've worked in your country to qualify, you must have worked 1 year in your country, right? Then there are other documents they just need you to get, but I'll call them paperwork. But then there's a third one. The third way that I will say people often don't realize that this is one legitimate way to travel abroad is through study abroad. Study abroad. So it is very possible for somebody who wants to travel abroad to go through study. A lot of countries, especially high-income countries, they allow students to study, and then they also allow those students to stay back become permanent residents, become citizens. Specifically, that is how I, became permanent resident in Canada. I came as a student, studied on full scholarship, and at the end, I got my permanent resident. And the good thing about study abroad is that is less how do I put it now? Is less discriminatory with specifics, because even though we handle graduates, let's say somebody has high school, they can actually get admission to go and study, let's say, undergraduate studies, and if they have if they've already finished undergraduate studies, they can go ahead to let's say, for example, do their masters or do their PhD or do something else, so study abroad is one legitimate way to travel that people should consider.
So there's another one here. You said, how does someone in Nigeria get an international job, especially in the IT industry? I think you mentioned something like that initially.
Yeah, actually, this person have to just search online for companies in IT. So imagine I go online and I'm an IT guy. I'll type things like companies in Canada that are hiring IT personnel. Then you start coming. Now, specifically for Canada, there's this site that is called Indeed.ca. That's where most Canadian employers post their job offer.
Okay, so someone is saying they want to know if it's possible. This is Deraji wants to know if it's possible to get a full scholarship in Canada at this time. So at this time, I want to believe she's trying to imply COVID, stress, work, and all of that.
Yes. So yeah, 100% yes. That's the answer. 100% yes. And my company released a book recently called 99 Full Scholarships Abroad. That's the name of the book. And maybe we can post it later for them. 99 Full Scholarships Abroad. So that book is actually, what we're trying to do is pick out samples of the full scholarships that we train people on how to get. Because if you remember, my company, what we do is we train graduates on how to secure admission and scholarship abroad. So we're trying to explain to people that there are full scholarships, but the truth is they are hidden. If you just go on Google and say full scholarships abroad, the ones that will come up are the very popular ones. And because they are popular, for a scholarship that has like 25 slots, 10,000 people will apply. So it's almost like, and inside that 10,000, maybe you see 500 qualified people. You're applying for a scholarship that maybe 5 people applied for it. And you are just, and once you know how to prepare your documents, it's way, way easier for you to get. So now, that is the portion of getting full scholarship. So the answer is yes. Why? Many schools, the kind of scholarships we introduce people to get, many schools already integrated it into their system. So it's not a thing of, there's COVID, budget is cut, therefore we don't have scholarships. And most times these schools, they give money to graduate students, and then the graduate students work as, let's say, graduate assistants, which could be you're helping a professor do a research assistant, or you're helping a professor handle undergraduate students, teaching assistant. So they're not going to stop because COVID is there. Even when COVID is here and people are studying from home, somebody still have to mark the assignments. So teaching assistant role is there, and graduate students get paid in form of scholarship for them to assist with that job. So it's integrated into the system. That is not just that it comes and goes as whenever they want it. So the answer is yes, the person can get it.
I was going to ask, how has the pandemic affected traveling abroad?
So the pandemic has truly affected travel abroad, right? So a lot of countries, put closure here and there. But the real secret is that the pandemic did not affect people traveling through the study route. All the countries that I know, they are giving preference to people traveling via study. Yesterday, as when we were doing this, a client of mine moved to UK. She called me and she was like, oh, thank you. She was showing me her room and everything. She still traveled despite this pandemic. In our mentorship program, we teach people how to discover the courses they will apply for that the embassy will not frown at. Because, for example, I'm a dentist. and then I did public health. If I suddenly now apply for engineering program, even a normal person will be wondering that, madam, what did they happen? Do you get why are you interested in engineering? So there are ways to discover programs of best fit. That's what we call it. And this person can actually check we have a detailed info section for people that want to go abroad to study. If they go to my handle, they can see that webinar link on my bio. Or my company's name is Vantage Migration. So if the person just do like www.vantagemigration.ca, they'll be able to get start off how to start. We focus more, like in terms of clientele, we work more with people that want to travel abroad to study, right? Specifically graduates. Yeah.
Okay, so basically, I think this is just about the last question I have. Mm-hmm. So you're saying to us now that the safest way to travel abroad is through study. It might be a bit difficult with work and all of that, because there are other areas and other people are willing to take it quickly and all of that.
Yes.
So you're saying studying abroad is the safest and fastest way to relocate.
Yes. That's what I'm saying, especially in 2021, because of the pandemic, because of the fact that they are giving more priority to people going to study. They're making even visa easier for them. Like, you can't even imagine the amount of modifications that have been made to study visa. When the pandemic started initially, for example, Canada made it that things were taking, like visas were taking long to come out. They now said for study visa, they'll divide it into 2 stages. One, they'll give you authorization so that you start your study even before the main visa come out. And recently, do you know they made another modification that even if you study online and you complete your study online, they'll give you 3 years work permit in Canada. Like they made that modification like last month. When they give you that work permit, the length may vary, but when they give you the work permit, the least they give to you is 1 year.
I'm a BCom law student doing my 2nd year this year. How can I get a scholarship to study in America?
So this person is probably talking about being a transfer student, where I don't handle transfer, because transfer is kind of a little bit more complicated compared to you are going for a fresh program, because you have to find a school that we agree, and then your school has to agree. So it's not a straightforward thing that one can easily just give a blanket a blanket opinion. That one, I would say maybe the person can consult any educational consultant they know, if they handle something like that. Yeah. What I would even really advise that person to do is to start with our free webinar, because just like you mentioned, there are like maybe 300 questions, right? Most of these questions, what we did was we broke them down. It's like we had time, we broke them down in such a way that anybody will understand. And we also kind of explain to that person the whole thing about getting admission and scholarship abroad, and how other people have done it, how I did it, and all that. So this webinar is very, very detailed, and I put a link on my bio on Instagram right now. So if the person starts from there, they will have done like more than 50% of the work. Then if they have more questions, they can now chat me inbox. So that will just be a way for them to get in contact.
And if you feel that she's not going to respond quickly via DM, on her page, on her front page on Instagram, you see her contact under her profile, your her telephone number, her email, everything you need to come to keep to get in touch with her is right there. So thank you, Dr. Linda. Thank you for shedding more light to things that we thought were impossible, and then telling us that the legitimate way traveling legitimately is the best. You don't want to travel and then you see a policeman on the road, you are running, you're hiding.
Thank you.
I appreciate you coming on live, and we hope to do this another time for those who were not opportune to
That's fine.
join us today. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All the best.